Hello everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to my channel, the Cheryl Hubbard Show. Glad to see you. So glad you can make it. Glad you can join me. So today, I'm gonna talk about a few things. So, you know, thanks for joining me. Thanks for being here. Same place, same time, same channel, the Cheryl Hubbard Show. Right here on YouTube. So trying to bring you quality, educational, inspiring, motivational, content on my show. So, you know, let's get the ball rolling. Let's get started. Let's get started. Let's get started. All right, let's get started. So, first what I'll do, just right here in my little, my home office slash YouTube studio slash music studio. So, just want to talk a little bit about first. I want to give honor to God and say, God, thank you for waking me up this morning, starting me on my way. Yes, God, thank you for all the many blessings that you have given me in my life. Um, you know, prayers around the world, prayers to everyone around the world. We all need prayer. So first, let's talk a little bit more about this coronavirus. So, well, today I have me a little coffee. I usually have my my little Lala drink, but I don't have, I'm not gonna drink that today. But I want to try something different. Just a little cup of coffee with cream, sugar. Mhm. Sometimes when you talking, your mouth is dry, but this is real good. It's coffee. I put cream in mine. I don't like no black coffee. Mhm. So I just want to talk a little bit about the coronavirus, just a little bit. So I know, you all probably been watching the news, so you probably know about, you probably been getting your updates on a daily basis. But and also, you can go to uh, you can go to sorry about that, World Health Organization, um, CDC, the World Health Organization website, CDC's, Center for Disease Control. Go to their website, and you get all your up to date information on this coronavirus. Then they call it Corona 19, coronavirus 19, and um, just a little update. So, um, according to my notes, let me see what I have. Okay, Trump. I was watching the TV earlier. Trump met with they were live streaming it, but Trump met with the pharmaceutical companies, and they were discussing vaccines, and he was asking the questions of how soon you think you'll be able to get the vaccines out there to the public, but they was stressing the fact that they didn't, and not in so many words, but in other words, they don't want to rush. They want to make sure the vaccines are safe, make sure they work, and make sure they're safe. Because one of the gentlemen talking, he said, well, we don't want to make it where you get a vaccine to what 400,000 or 500,000 and then make them worse. So that is something to think about. So when they're putting the vaccines together, they have to make them safe, take the time, make them safe, make them work, make them safe, and make them make sure they, like I said, make sure they work. First of all, make sure they're safe, because they're saying that this coronavirus is most deadly when it is when it affects the elderly, probably elderly and probably infants too. Elderly, I mean, I figure it's deadly for anybody that come in contact with it. But I always just want to say prayers around the world for everybody, and hope we can overcome this coronavirus. So he met with the pharmaceutical executives, and they were talking about the coronavirus. So they're talking about vaccines. So it seemed like they will have some vaccines available by the summertime. hmm And so then also Trump was asking them, well, I guess they were telling them about how many vaccines they could have available per month. It says that about 200. What I'm saying, something about 200,000 per month could be made, and then and also the vaccines could help protect individuals from getting the coronavirus, and it also can help the ones that have it. It can help them, get better. So help them get better. So I don't know if they're going to be calling the vaccines a cure for it or not. But right now they say there's no cure. But I guess once they finish developing these vaccines, so they've been working on the vaccines that from my understanding. And then they were talking about that he was talking to the therapeutic company, and they were talking about how they had to do the clinical trials. So in other words, when they finished with the vaccines, they had to go through clinical trials. They have to make sure that then the public, we want to know, what are you putting in these vaccines? Because we don't want people to have allergic reactions. So it's just a lot, you don't want to have no allergic reaction. We want to know what's in these vaccines. People may be allergic to some stuff. So we gotta have, so that's why I was looking at the program. So it's very enlightening. So it's right on YouTube. So they were streaming it on YouTube earlier today. And so far they say now the coronavirus has claimed 16 lives in the U.S. 15 patients are being treated in the state, in each state, I guess. No, it says 15 patients treated in the state. So I guess that's the United States. And then it has Seattle. They have Seattle, the U.S. death toll. Patients being treated at least 50 patients are being treated in at least 15 states. And Seattle, they had four more deaths on Monday and 2 over the weekend. So that's 6 more deaths in Seattle, Washington. And then they say 4 deaths were linked to a nursing home. 4 deaths linked to they call it Life Care Center nursing home in Kirkland, Washington, and at least 50 other residents and staff. Members have reported coronavirus, or at least 15 other residents and staff have reported coronavirus-like symptoms. So it don't mean that they have it, but they have symptoms. Because they have symptoms, it might be they could have the flu, so I guess they have to be tested. So 4 deaths linked to the Life Care Center nursing home, and at least 50 other residents and staff members have reported coronavirus-like symptoms. Okay, and that's King County. They call it King County. It said King County leaders declared a state of emergency. And it says Trump to enact new travel restrictions on some nations with large outbreaks. So in other words, some nations that have this large outbreak, then Trump is going to restrict travel. So and then they had right here, they listed the different states that do have coronavirus cases. Arizona, California, Florida, Georgia, Illinois, Massachusetts, Nebraska, New Hampshire, New York, Oregon, Rhode Island, Texas, Utah, Wisconsin, Washington State. And they have cases confirmed by health officials, or they have been treating patients with the virus symptoms. So those states that I just mentioned, some of them have confirmed. It says they have cases confirmed by the health officials, or either they have been treating some patients with the virus symptoms. So that doesn't mean that all of those in those states have them, but they have been treating they've been treating some people in those states because they have coronavirus-like symptoms. So that's why they said it's kind of hard to distinguish because the coronavirus and the flu have similar symptoms. So fever, uh, uh, difficulty breathing, fever, and you're sniffing, sneezing, like the flu. And sometimes with the flu, you may have, little aches. Your body may feel achy a little. And then it says an advisor to Iran's supreme leader died after contracting the coronavirus. Iraq and Egypt confirmed more cases. And it said the European Union's Internal Market Commissioner said Monday the coronavirus has led to 1.1 billion in losses per month for European tourism industry since the start of 2020. So this coronavirus is affecting and it's affecting tourism because nobody wants to travel to, it's probably going to be a ban in those states that, have a mass amount of this coronavirus. So, but, it's affecting tourism. Nobody's going to want to do too much traveling. Who's going to want to do any traveling when they have, we have to worry about this coronavirus? So most people probably want to go get their groceries, go to work, and come back. Even if you can even do that, get your groceries, come home, pick your kids up from school, go to work. That's the most important thing that you need to do. And they're saying that if wash your hands 20 seconds, when you wash your hands. So we probably need to be washing our hands, most of the time they say, they say, well, wash your hands after you use the bathroom, definitely when you get up in the morning, before you take your bath, your shower, whatever, you wash your hands. Wash your hands, wash your face, wash your body, take your shower, and after you use the bathroom, wash your hands, and keep your hands clean. So they're saying they want people to stop buying these masks and wearing these masks because they are needed for the healthcare workers. So if the public keep buying them all up, then the healthcare workers won't be able to have nothing to use. So that's what they're saying. And then they say Senegal confirmed its first case. It's the second case in sub-Sahara Africa. And it says it could be dangerous for a whole lot of African residents to, get this coronavirus because over there in Africa they have a lack of resources and they have in the infrastructure they have a lack of resources and health infrastructure to combat the virus. So Nigeria, the continent's most populous country and biggest economy, announced last week that doctors had diagnosed the illness in a businessman from Italy. In other words, the man was from Italy and he had contracted the coronavirus. So that is it for the coronavirus. But you watch the news every day. Watch the news every day and get your updates. So there are no known cases in Washington D.C. No known cases in Washington D.C. as of yet. But Trump, stated on his speech earlier today that, when he was talking to the the pharmaceutical executives. He was talking to the pharmaceutical executives, and he stated how he had closed some of the borders, and he had put a ban on certain areas and for certain people from coming to the United States. So that was a good idea right there. So only thing we can do probably, right now is just, follow follow protocol, follow our instructions, make sure we wash our hands, don't sneeze on nobody. If you're sick, stay home from work, stay home from school. If you're sick, don't be sneezing all over the place. And touching on everything when you're sick, stay home from work, stay home from school. And cause you just have to, you're sick. You might have the flu, but you don't want to have the flu and that be mistaken for the coronavirus, and then they be trying to quarantine you. You're like, no, I just had the flu. So you have to be careful. And so, okay, so that is it for the coronavirus, and I want to just say prayers around the world, and just want to pray for everybody, myself included, everybody, people in California, all the states, all 50 states. I want to pray for everybody, states, countries, everybody around the world. So we want to beat this coronavirus. I want to say thank you, God, for waking me up this morning, blessing me, praying for me, God. I love you, and pray for the people around the world, God, and so we just have to wake up and lift everyone up in prayer, lift ourselves up in prayer on a daily basis. Lift ourselves up in prayer on a daily basis, and just know that we will get through this. So, okay, so that is enough for this coronavirus. So what I want to do, I want to talk a little bit about buying a foreclosed home. I talked a little bit about that on my previous video. So buying a foreclosed home. So okay, buying a foreclosed home. So initially, a foreclosed home, it comes into existence when, in other words, somebody purchased a home and they defaulted on their payments, and they had taken out a mortgage with the bank. So, but they defaulted on their loan payments, and the bank took over. So the bank took over, and now the bank took over. So the bank feels that now you missed your payments, you're 3-4 payments behind. Now we own the house. So what we're going to do is put the house in foreclosure. So it says, since the buyer can no longer make the payments, then if you're involved with the FHA, Federal Housing Authority, they will sell the home to pay off the mortgage of the defaulting buyer. So the FHA will sell the home. That's where they probably got their loan from, because they give out loans too. So in other words, they had their loan, they defaulted on their loan. So now the FHA is going to take ownership of the house, and they're going to be the ones selling the house. So it says individuals may sometimes purchase FHA foreclosures. So in other words, somebody purchased a house and they defaulted on their payment, their mortgage payments. They defaulted on their mortgage payments with the FHA. So then FHA purchased the foreclosure from them because they defaulted on their payments. So then it says individuals may sometimes purchase FHA foreclosure. So in other words, once the FHA have possession of the home and they will be the owners, then you can purchase it from the FHA because the previous buyers defaulted on their loan and their mortgage payments. So it says you may be able to purchase a FHA foreclosure for a little or no money down. And then you can also research foreclosure homes in your state. Go to HUDHomestore.com, HUDHomeIndex.ASPX, FHA foreclosure properties. So in your state, check on the FHA, because they will be FHA. They'll be the owners of these homes because they are foreclosed homes where the people or the person or the family or whomever defaulted on their foreclosed they foreclosed on their property. So now the FHA is they listed the home as a foreclosed home. So you can check with the county clerk and the county clerk's office in your state, and you can find all the foreclosed homes there. And also you want to decide how much work you want to put into your house. Then homes may be fixer uppers. So in other words, you in the market for buying a foreclosed home, it may be a fixer upper. You might have to put money in that home. But sometimes some foreclosed homes might not be might not be fixer uppers, but some of them may be fixer uppers. But you buy a foreclosed home, and you might have to put some money in it. You might not. You might luck up and get a foreclosed home that doesn't need any work done. So that's how they go. So and then you have and then if you bought a foreclosed home, you want to say have the home inspected. Have the home inspected for condition of home and amount of work needed. That way you know how much money that's going to be it's going to be needed that you're going to need to put into the home. So you can go to then say calculate necessary repairs, because you want to know these type of things ahead of time, because sometimes you don't want to spend too much money, extra money that you really don't have to spend. You can go to www.hud.gov /code script.cfm, but check out hud.gov, and then that's where you can so in other words, you're buying this foreclosed home, you want to purchase this foreclosed home, go to the county clerk's office, and you should be able to get a listing in your state of the foreclosed houses in certain areas. So then if you want to apply for FHA 203K home repair mortgage after inspection, so in other words, you get the foreclosed home inspected, then you can also apply for this 203K home repair mortgage. It's a mortgage. I guess it's a mortgage. No, the mortgage is nothing but a loan. That's all it is. It's a fancy word for loan. So the mortgage is a loan. Bank is going to finance you, credit union is going to finance you. So that's how that is. That's what that is. So in other words, you're buying a foreclosed home, and it may need some repairs, so you get a loan for that too. So that is that. That is buying a foreclosed home. So then I have, let me see what I have next. So let's talk about lease options to purchase. So in other words, you want to lease a house. You want to lease a house with an option to buy. Leasing a house with an option to buy. Leasing is just renting. So I was driving Uber. 2016, I started driving Uber. So I had the same option. I had a lease option. I had a lease option to purchase. So that's what I did. So they give you the total price. Gave me the total price of the car. So every week when you make your payment, that goes toward the principal balance of the car and the interest. But I guess it starts off with the interest. Once you start paying it, it knocks down the interest on the total price. And once you pay that, then it goes into your principal balance. So that's what I did. I had lease, because they offered the deal for Uber drivers. So in other words, you drive for Uber, you sign up for, the car. It's just like buying a car, but you just, we didn't have to put no money down. So no money down, but we put I think it was about $500 down. Some people put $250, some people put $500 down. So it was just like an option fee. I guess they call it the option fee. So I put that down, and then I didn't have to worry about putting no $2,000-$3,000 down, and paid it. But it was expensive per week. It made me like $150 a week. But they included the maintenance and but you had to put your own gas, and it consisted of the maintenance that was included. So in other words, if something went wrong with the car, then they would pay. You would take it to the shop, and they would fix it. But they would fix certain things, and they would fix everything. So things like the brakes and things of that nature, I had to pay for that. But some other things like oil changes and tire rotation and minor things that was included. So it says So it says, let's talk about lease option to purchase a house. So in other words, they have the same deal when you buy the car. So I did that with an Uber, and then I kept the car and paid it off. Kept the car and paid it off. So yes, my son helped me pay that car off. So we started out because that car, it was a nice Toyota Corolla, and I still have it. Yes, I still have it. So let's talk about this lease option to purchase. It says, what is a lease to buy option? A lease option is a contract in which a landlord and tenant agree that at the end of a specified period, the renter can buy the property. The renter can buy the property. The tenant pays an upfront option fee and an additional amount each month that goes toward the eventual down payment. If you decide not to purchase the home, you lose option fee as well as any money put down. So in other words, a lease option is a contract in which a landlord and tenant agree that at the end of a specified period, the renter can buy the property. So in other words, you sign a contract with the landlord. You want to lease this home, rent this home for say 6 months. You want to rent this home for 6 months, and then after 6 months, you have the option to purchase. So you're not going to be obligated to purchase the home if you don't want to. But you pay your little 6 month lease, and if you feel that you don't want to purchase that home, then you can move on to your next resident. But if you decide to purchase the home, you do have the option to buy. So that's a good deal. I wouldn't mind doing something like that. Myself. So, and then it says, lease with an option to buy. Decide if leasing is for you. Yes, in the beginning, you need to think about the things. Think about those type of things. Think about those type of things. If that's something that you want to do, decide if leasing is for you. This is another way to potentially purchase a home with little or no money down. Yes, lease with option to buy, no money down, like I did with the car. I didn't have to put a whole lot down. I put a small amount down, and I was able to buy the car. I didn't have to put $2,000-3,000 down. So, and then it says rent on an optional house is going to be above market value. So in other words, rent or lease with option to buy is going to be, in other words, they say the market value is going to be higher than, it would be if you had a regular home that you was, a regular home that you were buying, but this is a rent with option to buy. And it says find an owner who is willing to option her house, and keep an eye out for something that has been on the market for a long time. So in other words, keep an eye out for these type of houses. Probably like, they were saying in your county clerk's office, county clerk's office, and you'll find probably these deals, foreclosed homes and things of that nature. And so let's see what's next. Also, know the risk. If you choose not to purchase a home, you will not get back any of the option money back. So in other words, money you put down for option, rent with option to buy, lease with option to buy. If you decide not to buy that home, you will not get your money back. Then it says negotiated contract. You need a standard lease agreement and option to purchase, and that way you get the title. You wouldn't have the title of the house. You don't have the title of the house for the house until you pay it off. So that's why they say you have to really, then when you're reading contracts, always read the small print, because sometimes these contracts can be very tricky. And read the small print. So let's see what I have next. And so next I think this is the last one. Uh, steps in buying a house with no money down. So this is not a foreclosed home. This is just, I guess, this is a regular, buying a regular home. It says steps in buying a house with no money down. Okay, first of all, you want to apply for a zero down mortgage as a low income applicant. So in other words, when you fill out your application, apply for a zero down payment or zero down mortgage. I guess that's a down payment, zero down mortgage as a low income applicant. I guess that means a zero down payment. Gather the info for FHA housing loan. All your documents, your pay stubs, I guess, your proof of address, pay stubs, whatever documents they ask for, proof of address, and contact an FHA approved lender. FHA does not loan money directly to potential homeowners. It has a list of approved lenders that make loans through FHA insurance program. So FHA does not, they do not loan money, but they give you a listing, I guess, of those lenders that you can borrow money from to finance your home. It says FHA lenders. You can find them at HUD.gov/code SSI. It looks like SL CRIT.CFM. So you go to their website, or they may have a phone number on their website. That you see a phone number that you can talk to them, and then you can discuss with them the ways that you can purchase a home. So you purchase a home with no money down. You can purchase a home with other people's money. So no money down doesn't mean that it doesn't take any money down. It's just not your money. So no money down means somebody else's money. Really? Really? And then you can probably get a sample loan. Go to a sample loan application, and you can just see what's on the application. Go to www.fanniemae.com/content/practice. You want to seek a pre-approved mortgage as FHA approved lender. FHA approved lender. So complete a uniform residential loan application. This application starts a mortgage approval process. So you got to complete a uniform residential loan application. Seeking pre-approval and identify the house you want to purchase. So in other words, I guess it's best to get that pre-approval mortgage loan first, and then identify the house that you want to purchase. So then when you deal with the FHA, you already been approved for your loan from your lender, and then you already picked out the home that you're interested in. So those are two important things: the loan, the mortgage, the pre-approval of that mortgage. The mortgage is going to finance your home for you, and so if you approve, once you meet the qualifications. So let's see what else I have. Okay. So once you finish all your paperwork, then and then you have all the documents turned in to FHA and the lending, whatever lending company you want to use. I don't know if you're going to use credit union or banks, but you're going to seek and you're seeking their underwriting and documentation review. So once everything is turned in to the lender that you are applying for that mortgage loan, and then it will have to go to the underwriting department for a documentation review. See, once you have completed your paperwork and choose a home to purchase, you submit all of your documents for review. The lender will examine your paperwork and determine whether your information supports making a loan that they believe will be repaid. So once you turn it into everything, I guess once you turn in your pay stub, that way they know how much you make. And that way they know how much you make, and they'll know They look at your bills, how much you make. So basically, like I said, it'd be like it's just like submitting an income statement. You know, revenues minus expenses. What is your net income? But they want to know what type of money you have coming in. Your revenues, because you don't want to apply for a loan, mortgage loan, and know and have them know that your expenses are more than your revenues coming in, so you would probably not be able to even get a loan. I know I won't. Right now I don't think I'll be able to get a loan, but I'm working on things. Building up my credit, and working on my credit and building that up. So, yes, me and my family, my sons, we are trying to work toward that direction. So it's a process, it's a process, but so sometimes you just have to thank God that you are where you are, and just thank God that you are where you are, because it is what it is, and you know the steps that you need to take. So that is the the things that you need to do to build your credit, or whatever you need to do to make that dream happen for you. So they do have programs that will help you rebuild your credit, build your credit up. They said no credit is better than I think that's what they were saying. Did they say no credit is better than bad credit? Yes, I think that when it comes to buying a home, or so when I purchased a car, I did my credit was all right, but it's not perfect. But they let me pay it off, so I paid it off. Uh, so yeah, it must go through the underwriting process. That's the last process. Once it passes the underwriting process, then they saying that 9 times out of 10 your loan would be approved. Once you receive your loan approval, if the underwriter feels you meet the guidelines, you'll get your home finance and you'll get that mortgage. Next, determine if you qualify for down payment assistance. So in other words, you already been approved. You've been approved for your mortgage. Um, you already picked a lender. You've been approved for your mortgage loan, and it's already been approved through the underwriters department. Now you want to see if you can borrow, not borrow, but if you could obtain assistance for your down payment. See, next, determine if you qualify for down payment assistance. You can seek down payment assistance. HUD.gov/HUD portal/HUD. If you are a law enforcement officer, pre-kindergarten through 12th grade teacher, firefighter, emergency medical technician, you may qualify for a reduced home purchase price in areas in need of community revitalization through HUD's Good Neighbor Next Door Sales Program. So in other words, if you are a firefighter, a teacher, kindergarten through 12th grader, emergency medical technician, then you qualify. So that's good. You have, I thought about teaching one time, but I thought about getting into teaching one time, but that was, I passed up that opportunity. So, but I passed by that opportunity, and I did, a little odd job, but with my degree, I could have, but there's so many problems in those schools, DC public schools, Maryland, Virginia. They have so many problems. What I see on the news, a lot of stuff, so many things be going on. I'm like, nah, that's all right. So many things be going on. It's just too much. So many things be going on. I don't want to be a part of none of that. And trying to live a quiet, peaceful, ethical, morally sound life. So those are the things. Oh, I think I have. Oh, okay. I got one more thing here. It says qualify for a mortgage. So, in other words, you're trying to get a mortgage. You're trying to obtain a mortgage, so you can, you're trying to qualify yourself for a mortgage. So, thing is, to qualify for a mortgage, you can, I would think that you would, this is just thinking off the top of my head, but I think I've seen this somewhere too. But put some money to the side, start saving. You're working paycheck to paycheck, you're making pretty good money. Put some money to the side every so often, every payday. If you had to save for a couple years, 5 years, if you had to save, for 5 years, it's best to start young while you're a little younger. Save for 5 years, then put that money to the side in the savings. Say, look, that's my savings account. This is my house money. I'm not gonna borrow it. I'm gonna take my tax money every year, put that to the side for 5 years. Put my work salary in the bank for 5 years or 3 years or how many years you want. 3 to 5 maybe. Take that money. That'll be a lot of money. Take that money right there, and then take your tax money every year for 5 years, and then say, hey, I can probably swing with my own down payment. So if you don't do it that way and you try to qualify and get a mortgage loan, then you have to make sure that you're making the type of money. You have to make sure that you're making the type of money that they're going to want to approve you, because they're going to know are we sure we're going to be able to get our money back? If we lend this person this money, this mortgage, create this mortgage, this contract, so they can buy this house. So we want to be sure that we can get our money back, so that's how they go. So qualify for a mortgage, they go, I believe, I was reading in my research earlier, I think it said it's 700. A lot of times when you want to qualify, I believe they want your credit score to be 700 before they would even give you a mortgage. But you never know. But that's according to my research. I was just reading that today. So in other words, they want to look at your credit score. They want to look at how much money you have coming in, how much money you have going out, how much debt do you have. That's very important. What is your income? How much you're making on a monthly basis? How much you're making per year? How much debt do you have going out per month? How much debt do you have going out? How much income you have coming in? What is your credit score? So all those things are very important. So they're not even going to entertain you if your credit score is not. The book says 7. I mean, that's a book, but according to my research, it says 700. But you never know. Depending on the financial lending institution. So that's how they go. So qualify for a mortgage, you got to check your credit score. It says credit score, how well you manage. It says your credit score determines how well you manage your money. This right here, it is right here, 700. Many lenders require a score of 700. And they look and say debt to income ratio. So debt to income. So how much is your debt compared to your income? So there's no way probably that you want to get a loan if your debt is way more than your income. So they were like, no, because you can't even pay your own debt. What makes you think you're gonna pay us back if we give you this mortgage loan to finance this house that you want? So it said debt to income ratio, comparison of your monthly debt, new home to your monthly income. Sorry. Lenders prefer borrowers with low debt to income ratios because it means you're more likely to be able to afford your monthly payments. So in other words, they prefer you to have low debt to income ratio. So in other words, they want the debt to be lower than your income. So that should be something natural. That's not hard to understand. Also, they want to look at your employment history. Employment history, job stability, 2 or more years. So in other words, if you try to get a mortgage loan and they see that you've been on the job for 6 months, and you have been trying to get a house, really, that's too soon. So, 2 or more years, that way it shows some stability. It's a timeline that shows some stability that you keep a job, Because if you just starting your job and then it's best to wait until, say, hey, just say, so, stability and personal assets. Money set aside, savings, and retirement investments you already own a home. That's a good, because you have collateral. investment, already own a home, property or other collateral, like a car also may be a plus. So say I have a car, but I still, I'm not ready yet, but to purchase a home right now. It says, personal assets, you got money set aside. They see, well, she has a savings, he has a savings, the family, depends on how many people you want to put on your lease, how many people. I guess everybody that's going to be on that lease have to put their name on the application, and they're going to check everybody's credit. That's how they go. That's how they go. Everybody that's named that's going to be on that lease, they're going to check everybody's credit. They're going to check your credit, and they're going to check everybody's income. So it says you got money. That's why I'm talking about savings. Just like when you try to get a college education, put some money to the side. I mean, I wish I had done that earlier. I wish I had put some money to the side, and I wouldn't have to borrow as many student loans as I did. But it is what it is, and I obtained my degree, and that's what it is. It is what it is. So I just thank God for blessing me and letting me be able to, go to college and get my degree, because I know my parents did not get their degree. My parents didn't get their degree. My father dropped out at an early grade, but he did work hard. He worked hard to purchase a home and raise a family, so he still did pretty good. Everybody that wasn't that lucky. My mother, she worked hard to help my father purchase a home that they purchased. So, so they still overall did pretty good. So everybody's not that fortunate when you have to leave. Cause see, back in the day, he had to leave school to take his family. He had to take care because his mother. He had to help out with his sisters and brothers. So he had to leave school at an early age, at an early grade, and go to work. So he been working since he was a young man, way young. So then when he had us, he had 3 sons and 2 daughters. He dropped out at an early age. He had to take care of his family because he had to help his mother. So that was good, but back then and then he still worked hard and worked for years. He was in the army and everything. Was in the army. So right now he's buried out there in Arlington Cemetery. So yep, he was in the army. Was in World War II. And he, worked hard. Was in the army, worked hard for years in the government. Worked in the government, purchased his home through a VA loan. And, so we were blessed to be able to live in a home. My mother, my father purchased a home, so we were blessed. So everybody was not that fortunate to, be able to purchase a home. But, so that's what it is, so. And also to help your chances of qualifying for a loan with a good interest rate. Those are the things you need to do. You have money set aside, assets, you have collateral like a car, whatever, you already own a home, you have other investments, you have retirement, savings. And then what you want to do from time to time, check your credit report. Pay off all your debt. Build good credit. That's what I was saying. Save for a down payment. That's what I was saying. So in other words, I need to go back and check my credit report. I did check it. I think I checked it January sometime this year. Yeah, I just checked mine in January, so I'm gonna need to go back and check it again. So check your credit report. That way, if you see any derogatory things on your credit report, you may be able to get some things taken off. Well, some things come off anyway after 7 years. But if you can, check your report, because sometimes they make mistakes and put stuff on it that don't even belong on it. They might put the wrong person's information on there. So check that out. Pay off all your debt. So work on your debt. Check your credit report. Build good credit. Pay off your, the same thing. Build good credit and pay off your debt. That should be the same thing. And save for the down payment. So you save for a down payment. And then see, a lot of it's best probably to buy a home at a time when interest rates are lower. Sometimes watch the market, watch the housing market. Check out these websites, check out the news, and wait till the interest rates are lower. And just like when they have certain times, you notice certain times, or when it comes to buying a car, they have on these commercials, they show commercials back to back. So those are the times when you see, hey, you know what, they showing these commercials back to back. And sometimes you don't even see. Sometimes you don't even see no commercial on no, where you can purchase a car from these car dealerships. Like Pohanka, Toyota Corolla, Nissan, BMW. Sometimes you see them commercials back to back, and then they tell you that they got deals going on, President's Day, and different things of that nature. So when that's probably the best time to probably purchase a car. So then you have to think about a house too. What time of the year would it be best to purchase a home? Well, I know cars usually they say it's good to purchase a car like in the beginning of the year and the end of the year. So, but or even, whenever you watching the TV, you see those commercials. I see the commercials come up all the time, and I say, you know what, they have a good deal, because I know my son, his fiance, she's in the market for ready to purchase her a car. So I told her to check. I told her, I was trying to tell her to check around, because around Christmas time and New Year's, that is the time when they usually have those deals. So I was telling him to tell her, to go ahead and check, because she already, she already have a down payment. The down payment is already ready. All she need to do is go in there, and I told them to go ahead and go to 2 or 3 different lots and see what they're saying. Don't just settle and let them do the talking, and let them put all the figures down and give you all the rundown of all the figures. And then you say what you gotta say, but let them see what they're saying first. Let them say what they're saying first, and then so that's how they go. So that is it for my notes today. So that is that for today, and also one more thing. It just something just to add to some of the information I just gave. In other words, when you're buying a house, it is a good investment, just like a car. Just like they said on the paper that I was just reading. You have collateral, you have money set aside, you're building a tax shelter, you have money set aside, you have a saving, you have collateral, you have a car, you have a house, you already own a home. So those are the things that buying. In other words, buying a home helps you build equity, helps you create a tax shelter. It can improve your standard of living, and can improve your cash flow. So I believe that is it for and the home. And I was talking yesterday. I had my presentation consisted of when you want to check out these distressed properties, go to the county clerk's office in your state, check out these distressed properties, and see where they're located. Because then you might be able to find homes by owners. You find out where the owner is located and have a conversation with the owner. Have a conversation with the owner. If the house is in foreclosure, you have a conversation with the owner. You have a conversation with the bank and the financial institution that foreclosed on the house, and make a deal with them. Find out, where, what kind of deal you can, make with them. So the distressed properties, so that's, deal with the foreclosed homes. So they may have homes that's regular. And then, like I was reading I presented in my information, sometimes these foreclosed homes are fixer-uppers, and sometimes they may not be, but, so it's good to venture out there if you think you're ready, but according to my research, don't rush, make sure you're ready, because your credit going to have to be right. They want your credit score right. They want to make sure you're making enough money. Make sure the debt to income ratio is not, make sure your debt is not higher than your income. So, so those, I'm learning myself, because I would have never learned. I'm learning, but by doing my research, I'm learning. I know my husband, he was the man when it came to this type of thing. He was good on the law, accounting, real estate, and also he purchased the carton sheets. They have carton sheets. I have his, we have his, his set of tapes. He got his program Card and Sheets program, because he, I'm gonna read up on, I'm gonna listen to those tapes and I'll learn more. Then he also have a website, cardandsheets.com. So, and then they have a lot of other gentlemen. Sometimes they send us information in the mail where they say they have these little seminars where you can purchase homes with no money down and distressed properties. You can sell. I mean, you can buy these fixer uppers and rent them out and get into real estate. I wouldn't mind getting into real estate and obtaining my real estate license because my degree is already business, so there's nothing wrong with branching off into real estate because I already studied some law, business, accounting, so why not real estate? And so my cousin, he's a lawyer, Curtis L. Hubbard, attorney at law, so he's a lawyer, so I know he deals with, he's a criminal defense lawyer, but he probably, dealt with a whole lot of problems, a whole lot of different, situations when it comes to dealing with law, so he probably know a lot about this type of stuff too, real estate and housing and all that. So that is that for that information. And okay, I think that is it. And then I do have some other information on, your leasing, subleasing, and you talk to the seller for lease options. You might be able to lease. Once you lease it, you might be able to sublease it to somebody else. So I'm not going to get into that right now, but I might come back with that with my next video. So that is that for that information. So let's talk a little bit about, let's see how much time. A few more minutes. I try not to go over an hour. So let's talk a little bit about understanding computer information systems. So getting into real estate. So I'm going to read more into that because I'll think about, I might try to read up on my, I might want to read up on getting my real estate license. I want to see what it, but if not, I wouldn't mind purchasing some distressed homes, going to the county clerk's office and, purchasing some distressed homes and, renting them out. I like to find me a foreclosed home that I don't have to fix up, something that I can, purchase and live in myself, But so this is understanding computer information systems. So let me see if I can just find a few little things, just to update my memory, Let me see. We have some stuff on here called, look, communication and networks. Historically, data were fed to a computer from punched cards and output was printed on paper forms. So back in the day, you put information into a computer. So you fed the computer from punch cards and output was printed on paper. So you put punch cards in the computer, they come out on paper. So now we don't have to do none of that. We have a floppy disk, a floppy drive. You have a floppy drive where you put your little CD in, and then you can record your, save your information right on that, right from your little drive, your floppy drive, put it right in there, and you can save your information. So it says a modem. Modem is a piece of computer hardware used to convert digital information to a form that can be transmitted and received over the dial telephone network. You have the bus. Interconnection scheme for computers also refers to a network topology in which a number of computers share a common connection cable or medium. Then we have, let's see what else we have. We have email, messaging system using a computer to replace the physical sending and receiving of memos, letters, and notes. In other words, you send an email, you still have to be careful when you when you open an email, because phishing scams, all the time, so open the wrong email and then next thing you know you have a virus on your computer. So it's going to, a couple of things. I try to find something, I try to sometimes find terms that, we may not have heard in a while that we may be unfamiliar with, because I like to learn new things. So we have a data encryption. It's a technique for protecting the privacy of data transmissions. Converts the data to be transmitted into a form that can be deciphered. Yep, deciphered only with the proper key. In other words, you encrypt your password, and it has to be decrypted, or like they say, deciphered. So if the hackers get in and you already have everything encrypted, and they can't find they don't know how to decrypt it. But you still have to be careful with these hackers. So it's just something else when they try to get in, infiltrate your system. Get in there, get your information, get your credit card information. So there's been a lot of these big name department stores, Target, Macy's, and different ones, where hackers have gotten in and infiltrated these computer information systems and trying to get the information off these systems. People's credit card numbers, bank account numbers, and just something else. It's just enough going around. We got enough of this coronavirus going around. Then we got to worry about the hackers, and got to worry about this, got to worry about that. It's just so much that as families, we have to worry about. As humans, you have to worry about so much. See, password, the secret code known only to the user needed to access a computer or a network. So I'm not going to talk too long, but I can go on and on, about different things, but, I don't want to go too far over an hour. So like I said, it's data encryption, technique for protecting the privacy of data transmissions. So you're encrypting putting everything in code. So nobody, if it's in a code, CODE. So, you have vital, important information. Just like your cell phones, your cell phone, your email, your pictures on your cell phone, your emails, your private text messages. You don't want, but that's why on my phone, I don't, when I have my cell phone, I don't be, you sending all these pictures and all these, your significant other you have on the phone. And, sometimes you should wait till you get home to say, because you save all your love for when you get home. It doesn't have to be doesn't have to be put on your phone. But I mean, do what you want to do. But, it's just these hackers get in, they steal your pictures. You try to send a nice picture to your mate during the day while you're working. And, so I don't do those type of things. So me and my husband, so I wait, we'll be home. You wait till you get home. You don't have, you out in the street and you want to send, because you want to send some picture to your mate. But these hackers get in. They're getting in these, infiltrating these, what you call it, ring technology devices. But these ring technology devices are they're very good. They are very good, and they are great way to solve a lot of these cases out here. So because there's so much happening. There's so much happening out here today, and if you don't have a ring technology device, then your neighbor may have one, and that is very good because they're solving a lot of these cases around town. So and coffee now is getting a little cold, so I don't think I want too much more of that, but it was good, cream and sugar. But so I'm going to end on this note today, YouTubers. Thanks for joining me, and so just talking a little bit about this networking. So computers, networking, computer sharing information, just like you network with your friends, you share information. Computers are the same thing. Hook your computers up. You got your hub, you got your wires, computers sharing information. They're connected to one another, and then they can also share a printer. You can have 4 or 5 computers hooked together, attached together on a network, and they can all share the same printer. So, but things, you can also have a network set up wireless. You have a wireless network. But so that's how that goes. So I am not going to talk too much longer. I want to end on this note. So there are, not too many different terms in this book, but systems analysis and design. That's another chapter. So analysis, design, development, implementation, maintenance. So I want to end on this note today, class. I want to say thanks. I mean, not class, but YouTube. I keep saying class, but I want to say thanks for joining me today, and I hope to see you back here again. Same place, same time, same channel. The Cheryl Hubbard Show, and hope to see you back here again. Same place, same time, same channel, and I want to say you all have a good one and come back to see me again. So I'm going to try to provide quality, I would say quality information on my show. Quality information, educational information, enlightening, motivational, inspiring. So comment below, subscribe below, and comment below. Let me know what you want me to talk about. I don't mind doing research. I do not mind doing research. It's a learning process. On my channel, it's a learning process. I want to learn. I want you to learn. And I want you to show me. I want you to teach me some things. I need to learn some things. Nothing wrong with that. The learning process never ends. Learning process never ends. So much to learn. It's just so much to learn. They usually tell you, a person will tell you, hey, well, you you don't need to go to college for 4 or 5 different things. But you know what? You don't have to, but if your major is like my major was business and information systems, but I did those 2 majors, but my mind was so I wanted to open my mind up to so much. I wanted to learn so much more than that. I did information systems, but you know what I wanted to do? I wanted to learn about information technology. So I wanted to broaden my knowledge. So, but you don't have to keep on going to college. It is a lot of money, but do your research. You do research, you can learn about so many different things. Information technology, those mainframes, those supercomputers, the mini computers, microcomputers, client server environments. Your client server computers. So when you're working on a client computer, you're accessing your data and your information from that server. The server can be in another location off site. So but I could keep on talking. So I'm gonna say you all have a good one. Thanks for joining me. Hope to see you back here again. The Cheryl Hubbard Show. So and blessings and prayers all around the world. So we're gonna beat this coronavirus. We're gonna beat it. So you all have a good one and take care.